We're live at PGA National, and the Florida Swing begins in earnest this week. The countdown to Augusta officially underway. We'll let you know some of the big names to keep an eye on as they gear up for the first major of the year.
Plus, I'm going to show you why 24 inches of rain this winter has added quite a few inches to this overseeded rough. And those that stray from the fairway, well, their scorecards are going to pay this week at the Honda Classic.
And Phil Mickelson enters the Florida Swing on a roll. We'll look at what it will take for Lefty to keep contending for his first win since 2013. It's all ahead right now on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
The 44th edition of the Honda Classic gets underway this week, and for the 10th straight year, it kicks off the start of the PGA Tour's Florida Swing, the first of 4 consecutive events in the Sunshine State. You like star power? 3 of the game's biggest names are in the field. Last week, it was a tie for 20th finish for Rory McIlroy after stumbling with a 75 on Sunday, tying his worst career PGA Tour final round score in a non-major. It's been a few weeks since we've seen world number 5 Rickie Fowler in action. That was at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, where he lost on the 4th playoff hole to Hideki Matsuyama. It was also a near miss for Phil Mickelson in his last appearance. Lefty failing to make a 5-footer for birdie on the 72nd hole at Pebble Beach. That would have forced a playoff with Vaughn Taylor. Time for us to say hello. Lisa Cornwell, 4-time PGA Tour winner Billy Kratzert. Surprised I get to sit next to him. Great to have you with us on Golf Central. There seems to be an extra string, Billy, in Mickelson's step right now. And I don't know if it's necessarily because of where he's been on leaderboards. He just seems to have a ton of confidence in his game.
Well, you look at the finishes that he's had, Lisa. There's the 2nd place finish at Pebble Beach that you spoke of, and then the 3rd place finish out at the Career Builders. Other than the Farmers where he missed the cut, he had an 11th place finish at Phoenix at the Waste Management. But when you look at the stats for Phil this year, you look at strokes gained tee to green, strokes gained putting. Guess what? Even though he missed this putt, he's 5th in both categories. That's huge. And that's a stat that Lefty looks at, is that strokes gained putting. He's very concerned about that. And then when you look at what he's done with the driver, he's hitting over 60%. The leader on the tour is hitting 75%. Kevin Kisner's hitting 73%. Basically, that's just 1 more fairway or 1.5 more fairways per 18 holes. So I'm not too worried. If Phil can continue to hit 60% of the fairways, he's going to be okay. And by the way, he's leading the tour in scoring average. Sooner or later, you lead the tour in scoring average, you're going to win 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 in a year.
But we all know the rules don't always apply to a player like Mickelson, right? So when you think about his ball striking, sure, it's up. The putting, I mean, we've seen him do so much around the greens over the years. Watching him at Pebble, what is the one thing, the one area you think he needs to improve on right now?
Well, I would say that his course management got the best of him at the start of the round. A couple of early 3 putts put him behind the 8 ball. You really needed to make something happen on those first 7 holes at Pebble Beach. He needed to be 1 or 2 under par. He did not get there. He made a late rally when it meant the most. He came through, and it looked like there was going to be a playoff, but that miss on the last hole, it hurt. But the improvement he's made, exponential.
Yeah, it's amazing. And these slight swing changes really are already taking effect. So good news for Phil Mickelson and his fans. Well, last year at the Honda Classic, Mickelson finished tied for 17th, 6 shots back of the eventual winner. That guy right there, Padraig Harrington. Let's take a look at what happened. Through 16 holes, he had a 1-shot lead. This is the final round. Here is his shot off the box on the par 3 17th. It's interesting. You should know this. In 18 rounds on this golf course, he had never hit one there in the water. Very intimidating. So Harrington would make a double bogey and drop back to a 1-shot deficit. Now at the par 5 18th, Harrington for birdie.
And this was clutch. Needed it, made it, then you wait.
And he would get into a playoff. He's a 3-time major champ. He knows how the job's done, right? So the Irishman now seeking his first PGA Tour win in 6 years. I mean, he's out there grinding, trying to get back in it.
You know, a lot of people had written Padraig off. You watch him hit balls on the range, and you know he's going through all his warm-up. But he was pretty strong. Daniel Berger misses the putt.
What a great moment, though, for Berger. He would go on to become the Rookie of the Year. That was his defining moment last season. Second playoff hole, Harrington again at the par 3 17th. Good news for him, he learned from his mistake last time.
That he did. What a wonderful shot here by Harrington. 4 feet from the hole.
So Harrington puts the pressure on Berger. What would the young rookie do? Not what he wanted to do.
Yeah, you could just see, he just got out in front of it just ever so slightly. A little bit of a miss hit, shorten the hazard, and there's your champion, Padraig Harrington.
But definitely a lesson learned for Daniel Berger. For more on the defending champ, as well as the young player he held off in the playoff, we say hello to Steve Burkowski, who joins us live from PGA National. Hey, Burko.
Hey there, Lisa. A year ago, Padraig Harrington was at the Honda Classic and in on a sponsor exemption. He was ranked 297th in the world. But by the end of the week, he was back in the winner's circle as the three-time major champion, tasted victory for the first time since 2008.
It was important. It's nice when you come down the stretch, and if anything, I played better in that situation. So, yeah, I like the idea that I still know how to win. Sometimes I question whether I know how to get there, but I certainly know how to do it when I get in that position. And I read the situation very well last year. I understood what was going on around me. I was very impressed with my experience down the stretch last year. Might have used it a bit more when I was in my 20s, but all those losses in my 20s helped me figure it out now. I always think I'm going to win. As a friend of mine said even when I don't play, I think I'm going to win. So, you know, that's the attitude you have to have. I think the benefit of it was knowing that I can still do it under pressure. I haven't forgotten, which is a nice thing.
At 43 years of age, Padraig Harrington was the oldest winner of the Honda Classic, and again, that was his first PGA Tour win since 2008. Now, on the flip side of things, Daniel Berger was just a 21-year-old rookie looking to break through on the PGA Tour, and despite falling short, he has some very fond memories of the 2015 Honda Classic.
The biggest memories is just the whole family being around, all my friends cheering for me. I remember walking down the 18th hole and they were all cheering Berger. And it's just cool to be in my local hometown and sleep in my own bed. What I learned is that I'm good enough to be out here and that I need to get better. And if I want to compete out here week in and week out, that every part of my game needs to get better. And everyone's so good out here, you got to take every resource that you can and do everything you can to keep improving. Getting to the Tour Championship was huge for me. I'm in all the majors now, all the WGCs, and pick my schedule a little bit better and not have to worry about what tournaments I'm getting into and can be better rested for the playoffs. It's very exciting, and the best part is having my family around, you know, my parents and my brothers and sisters coming out to watch, and it's just a fun week for me.
Interesting to note that since that playoff, Daniel Berger and Padraig Harrington have become pretty good friends out here on the PGA Tour. Berger saying that they've had dinner probably 5 to 10 times in the past year. And when asked on Tuesday who picked up that first tab, Berger laughed and said Padraig Harrington was happy to get it, as he told Daniel, "I got the big check at the Honda in 2015. Berger and Harrington, just a couple of the big names here this week at the Honda Classic. The Florida Swing gets underway Thursday, and you can see all the action unfold live on Golf Channel and NBC. First round coverage of the Honda Classic begins Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern on Golf Channel with Golf Central pregame. Still to come on Golf Central, Tripp Eisenhower tied for 5th on this golf course in 2007. He'll show you how it's changed and how it will challenge the best in the world this week. Plus, Georgia is on his mind, Augusta, Georgia, in fact. John Feinstein gives us 2 players to watch in Florida as we count the days till the first major of 2016. It's all ahead as Golf Central continues.
Golf Central is brought to you by the Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Make a difference in your game. Grip Confidence. Grip Golf Pride.